Hi Pottery Plus, welcome back to the Pottery Plus Studios. I thought I would bring you along on the journey with this planter that I showed you last time, where I had applied the iron wash onto my designs of my mushroom stamps that I used on the surface of my clay. I thought it might be fun to show you what I'm doing next. I did want to mention quickly before we get started, in my last video I forgot to mention the surface that I'm working on is bisque ware, and I put that in the video description later after I realized that was a really important thing to say, but I know oftentimes we don't read that. So that is an important thing to note. I'm applying the iron wash and the glazes that I'm about to start using onto a bisque ware surface, so it's had its initial firing. It's no longer water soluble. So let me show you what I'm planning to do next with this project. I've got my mushrooms, and I decided not to put the iron on the stars and just leave those kind of subtle. But I've got the iron everywhere that I want it to be. And next what I need to do is I'm gonna put a full coating of this Mako 06 milk glass white glaze all over the surface, including over the mushrooms. But what I kind of was thinking was, if I drag my brush across the iron with the glaze, it might pull the iron into some places where I don't want it to be. So I'm going to put a layer of glaze over where I have my iron before I start to glaze over the whole surface, okay? So I'm not gonna be like too precious about it, because I really just need to get, again, I need to get a layer over that iron wash so it doesn't get pulled around. And then I can start applying just kind of I'll get a bigger brush and just kind of start applying a full 2 to 3 coatings of glaze over the whole thing, including the mushrooms, because I know if I go over them and I pull my brush over where the iron is, it's not gonna, hopefully not gonna drag it around the rest of the pot. And folks, it's important here to have your glaze in a separate container, like I have in my bowl, because you don't want to be brushing over your iron wash and then dipping directly back into your glaze container, because you can cause, cross-contamination. But the thing about iron is, you guys, like we mentioned in the last video, it's such a common ingredient in so many clays and glazes that, like, if you get, iron is not the worst contaminant. I'll just put it that way. It can definitely cause contamination with your glazes and your clay. But it's kind of a benign, well, it all depends on the amount too. I don't want to say something that's gonna like make any potters mad out there, but I'll just put it this way. If you get a drop of glaze in your glaze container or your glaze bucket, it's probably not gonna be the end of the world, but you do want to try to avoid it. Yep, that's the one. That's the one we're going with. Okay, and I'm not gonna do my like traditional 3 coats switching directions each time for this painting process, because again, I just have a bit of a different, we're kind of trying to achieve a little bit of a different goal here than usual. But that is the technique I'll use when I go back over this to coat the whole thing. Well, friends, just to kind of wrap this up, and I'll come back and show you how it goes with the rest of the steps from here, but this is just a project that I'm making for a friend. I'm actually making 2 of them. But with a project that's low stakes like that, and what I mean is, like, if this turns out badly, it's okay. You can kind of play around. But normally, like, say if I were making this project for a gallery show, a festival, something like that, I would be testing all of this stuff on either test tiles or sample pots, something like that. I would not just be going straight in with this iron and this white glaze and this, layering process that I don't know what it's going to look like in the end. Because honestly, I don't, guys. This is the first time I've done this exact combination. So, I always used to encourage my students to test everything on a piece that they weren't so super invested in. But I'm not doing that this time because, again, this is a fairly low stakes project. And however it turns out, it'll be okay. All right, thank you for joining me on this next step. And like I said, I'll keep you posted. Hopefully it turns out well, but even if it doesn't, I'll show you and we can talk about it. So I'll see you there, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. So we'll talk to you soon. Bye, Pottery Plus. Bye.